Hi guys, so today's video is a little bit different to normal. We're going to do a really super speedy tutorial on a sun salutation, so our basic Surya Namaskar A or our sun salutation A. So I teach this a lot in my classes because it's just a brilliant way to warm the body up completely. It's one of the fundamentals of yoga, and it's something sometimes I think that people can get a little bit confused about if a teacher is cueing inhale here, exhale here. So I'm just going to really quickly go through the basic sun salutation so you can practice this in your own time, maybe outside of class, or if there's something that you've not been sure about, then hopefully it will clarify it here. So I'm just going to run through a couple of different levels because people obviously need to work with their own body, so please do that. There is no ego whatsoever in this drill, in this practice, in any of yoga actually. So we're just going to start at almost like a beginner level or a basic level sun salutation that I always run through before my practice, so kind of like a really good way to warm the body up. So also before we start, if you imagine as we inhale we tend to lift, and then as we exhale we tend to fold. So if you think about that as you're going through the flow, so you inhale lifting, your exhale folding, and if you think about that as we're going through, then hopefully that will help you. So we come to the top of the mat to start. We come into our Tadasana, into our mountain pose. So we take the big toes to touch, we take that slight gap in the heels. At this point, I really like to just lift the toes up, spread them out wide, and really ground them down into the earth. So this is the point in our sun salutation where we're starting. So we're standing really tall and we're standing really strong. So think about lifting up through the inner arches of the feet. So here, this bit of the feet, if you think about lifting up through those, automatically the knees lift, the thighs lift and engage. Think about really tucking the tailbone under, so we don't want to stand like this or collapse here. We want to stand nice and tall and strong. And then give those shoulders a big roll. Take the hands by the sides of the palms facing forwards and just close the eyes up here. So the head, so the chin, imagine that it's just here on a right angle. So we're not sticking it up like this. It's not coming down. It's literally level with the ground. Close the eyes and just relax the shoulders. So we're really grounded into the feet. We're nice and active through the body, but we still have a softness. So the face is soft, the jaw's soft, the shoulders are soft. So this is our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So from here we inhale, we sweep the hands up, we come up into our extended mountain pose. So you have the option to take the hands to the thumbs, maybe take a slight back bend, or just come into your extended mountain pose. From here we take a deep forward fold. So really think about hinging from the hips in this forward fold. So instead of from this position we just collapse down, really think about lifting the chest forward and hinging from the hips. So if we're here, we reach forward, we hinge from the hips. So the hamstrings switch on, the butt goes back, and we hinge. We can soften the knees as much as we need to. So come into a lovely deep forward fold. From our deep forward fold, we then take another inhale. This is when we come into our half fold. So this is when we lift the chest. Again, hamstrings are switched on, the chest is lifted, the back is nice and flat. At this point, you can take the hands to the floor, if that still allows you a flat back. You can take the hands to the shins, or you can take the hands to the thighs if you need that little bit more support. So try here not to stick the head and neck up, but a nice long spine into our forward fold. Again, now we exhale, we plant the hands in front of the feet, we step back into our high plank pose. So we take 1 foot back, we take 2 foot back. In our high plank pose, we want shoulders stacked over elbows and wrists. The core is engaged at this point, we're looking straight down. So for our starting sun salutation or our beginners, from our high plank pose, we drop knees down to the floor, we untuck the toes. See, the upper body completely stays the same. The upper body doesn't change at this point. We then lower chest and chin down towards the floor. Think about the elbows going back towards the back of the room. We hug them in nice and tight, chest and chin lowers all the way down. Building strength in the arms here. So then we get into this position where the hands are just underneath the shoulders. The legs are still nice and active, so the tops of the feet are pressing into the floor. The knees are lifted very slightly, so active through the legs. From here, we inhale into our cobra pose. So we really start to lift the shoulders and the chest. So again, the shoulder blades are sliding down. We don't bunch the shoulders up by the ears. From this position, we just gently lift. There is no weight in the hands here. So we're not pressing in here and rounding. We're relaxing the shoulders, peeling the chest. From here on an exhale, we tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the hips coming into downward facing dog. So really thinking about the length through the spine, our hips nice and high. If we need to leave the knees bent and the heels lifted at this point, that's absolutely fine. Gaze between the ankles or the knees, downward dog. Here we take a breath. On an inhale, we then take a really deep bend in the knees, take the gaze to the hands. And then you can either walk the feet into the hands, so we can walk them in like this, or we can just step them straight in. They come to about hip width apart. When we get there, we lift again into another half fold. So remember, taking the hands wherever you need. And then come down and an exhale into a full fold. Bend the knees at this point, sweep the hands up, extended mountain pose again. And then take an exhale, bringing the hands down into heart center. That is one round. So we'll just put it together without the pauses. So coming back into your mountain pose. So big toes touching, hands by the sides. Take a breath, inhale, exhale. So we inhale, float the hands up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, half fold. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Knees, chest, chin. On that same exhale, hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Deep bend in the knees. Walk or step the feet into the hands. On that same inhale, lift the chest, half fold. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. If you want to take it up a little bit, then I'll just show you just a different variation here. It's very much the same. So again, starting in our mountain pose, we take an inhale, hands up. We take an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, half fold. Exhale, step back, high plank. Instead of dropping down onto the knees, we take a full chaturanga this time. So still in this nice high plank position, we shift the weight forward onto the tippy toes. The shoulders come just over the wrists this time. We then lower knees, don't lower knees. We lower chest and chin down towards the floor. Being careful at this point that the hips don't drop or the hips aren't up too high. So we've got that really nice shape in the core. Again, elbows are going back, hugging in through our chaturanga. Lowering chest and chin down towards the floor. At this point, we lift the chest, roll over the front of the feet, finding our upward facing dog. So lifting the thighs, lifting the hips at this point, shoulders stacked over wrists. Again, really active through the legs, the glutes. And then we exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Bending the knees, we jump or step the feet into the hands when we get there, half fold. Take a full fold. Take an inhale, rise. Take an exhale, hands to heart. So we'll just go through that one more time together without the pauses. So just flowing with the breath again, starting in your mountain pose. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step back, high plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a breath. Inhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, bend in the knees, jump or step the feet into the hands, lift, half fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. And that is your Surya Namaskar A, your sun salutation A. A brilliant way of warming up the whole body, preparing for other poses, more advanced poses, or just a brilliant way to start your day. Namaste.